Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ringside Chat. I'm Robby from Major League Eventing, and today we're going to bring you a review of all the action from the dressage phase and give you a little bit of a preview of what to expect for the cross country. So everyone, welcome back. The dressage phase here at Tokyo 2020 has been full of drama, with a few teams and riders not having the greatest first phase as what they were expecting, and there was a couple other riders and teams that just everything went according to plan. There was a late last minute shakeup in the leaderboard that should make things very, very exciting leading into the cross country action starting tomorrow. So after the first phase, the rider rankings goes as follows. Currently sitting in first with the late last minute charge capping off the dressage rides of the day. We have Michael Young riding F4H Chipmunk, currently sitting at a 21.1. Michael, as I said before, is the current reigning Olympic gold medalist. This time he's coming in with the new horse, Chipmunk. He's just a spectacular horse across all three phases, so expect him to finish off strong in the next two phases. Currently sitting in second is the world number one, Oliver Townend, who was leading the dressage phase for the entire event. He was the third ride to go out, and he's been leading pretty much all the way up until Michael Young set off on course, who was second or third to last rider to go. So it's a bit of a bummer for him, but they're still very, very close. And sitting off in third right now is China's Alex Hua Tian, sitting at a 23.9, riding Don Janeiro. This is a pair that kind of came out of nowhere, but they're looking very, very strong after the first phase and should continue to have a pretty nice day looking at all their stats. One thing to note is that 14 of the combinations have scored less than 30 penalty points after the first phase. Like I said, Michael Young sitting at a 21.1, and we have a couple other riders that are just barely under that 30 penalty point threshold. So things are very, very close in the top 14. So, expect a lot of shakeup happening with the cross-country phase as a lot of those gaps start to become a little bit wider, or other riders are able to close those gaps. There should be a lot of movement within that top 15 there. Currently in the team rankings, we have Great Britain sitting at first. All three of their riders just put in spectacular scores, primarily led off by Oliver Townend. Laura Collette put down a great dressage test as well. And then Tom McEwen is also just proving why you deserve to be on the team. Sitting in second is Germany, again with that late charge that Michael Young put on with that 21.1 dressage test, skyrocketed them up the leaderboards, and they're now sitting in second, very, very close to Great Britain. And then in third, we have New Zealand. This team has just always been a powerhouse in the eventing scene. It's no surprise to see them up near the top. So hopefully, they can maintain their position. They're all very, very strong cross-country riders. So, they should expect to remain in that podium position, possibly trying to close the gap there with the leaders. So something to note with the team competition is the team sitting from 4th to 9th, there's only 5 points separating them, which is not a lot, especially with the cross-country still to come. And then even from 9th all the way up to the podium position at 3rd, there's only 9 points separating them. I can't overstate it enough. The cross-country phase is going to be extremely influential, so really expect to see that the team standings change a whole lot after Saturday's competition. But as we all know, eventing is not a dressage competition. While having a great first phase will surely help, it's not going to win you right off from the first phase. You still have to go clean and fast cross country, and you're still going to have to keep the poles up on the final day for show jumping in order to actually complete the event. And without this drop score and only having a 3 combination team, every single rider needs to be on their A game. This is going to be a very tricky cross-country course. It doesn't seem to be the biggest course that we've seen, but with the undulating terrain, all the sharp turns, blind approaches to jumps, it's really going to test the rider's skills of navigating their horse through the course, and it's also going to test the horse's braveness and willingness to just kind of accept whatever is in front of them and really lock onto that next jump. So the cross-country course will run 4,420 meters across beautiful Tokyo land with an optimum time of 7 minutes and 45 seconds. This is going to be a pretty long course with a short amount of time to get there, with a very difficult terrain, with lots of undulating hills, sharp turns. It's going to be tough to make that time. Yes, the jumps might not be the biggest that some of these more experienced riders are going to be expecting on the course, but it's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. You can check out any of the pictures or the course walk videos that have been posted, this is not going to be easy whatsoever. It's really going to test the rider's skills, the horse's skills. It's going to be a hard ride. So with this tight optimum time and the stacked on top of each other individual and team scores, I do expect that this is going to be a very influential part of the entire competition. The time is not going to be easy to make, and we're going to see some riders really try to push to make the optimum time. They need to kind of protect their dressage score as much as they can, but making that time is not going to be easy. I expect to see either some extremely brilliant rides or some heartbreaking rides just from riders really trying to push, try to shave off as many seconds as they possibly can and come in as close to the optimum time as possible. It should be really interesting to see. I don't expect that we're going to see anyone make the optimum time for quite a while, as riders are trying to figure out what the optimum lines are going to be and kind of where they can save time and where they can kind of rest their horses and really set them up to make a good jump in. But, this should be very, very interesting to see how all this plays out. And if we take a look at our Major League Eventing League in the Fantasy Manager app, we currently have 46 managers currently participating in the Tokyo 2020 Challenge. And over here is where our top 5 managers are sitting at. Currently, we have Nina Cleveland is leading after the first phase with a team score of a 76.5. We have myself on a 78.8. Ashley Baker is sitting on a 79.6. Kaylee Rack is sitting at an 80.1. And Tyler James is sitting at 80.7. The Major League Eventing League is still wide open for anyone to take. Again, this is not one on the dressage phase. There's still 2 more very influential phases to go, and it should be exciting to see who comes out on top. And make sure to join the league if you haven't already. I'm going to post the code to join the league right there. Again, it's free. All you have to do is select 4 horse and rider combinations within the certain parameters that the Echo Ratings team has presented with the salary cap. And it's just a fun way to kind of keep up with these competitions and root for other riders that you might not otherwise root for, or learn about riders that you might not have ever heard before. We still have 2 very exciting phases left of competition here in Tokyo 2020. I can guarantee that it's just going to be an extremely exciting competition all the way around with a huge shakeup in the leaderboard, both individual and teams. And thanks again for joining the Ringside chat. I'm Robby from Major League Eventing, and I will see you guys next time.